That ain't for you to define. I mean, it's text to me. In real life, do what you want.
And I punish you. You ain't my equal. We ain't people. I ain't wanna
That's right. I'm gonna wait for the air horn. I'm not even gonna say anything.
I'm gonna let it ride there for like 5 minutes.
See, Tandi. Can't Tell Us Nothing show in the house, everybody. John, Antoine, Amechi, Tandi. All of us make Can't Tell Us Nothing, an improv group out of Houston, Texas. Thank you for coming to the show. Thank you for watching it if you're not viewing it live. If you are viewing it live, then it's 8:56 p.m. on a Tuesday. If you're not viewing it live, thank you for watching it anyway. This show, we take opinions, discussions, topics, turn into improv scenes right in front of you, right before your eyes. We just make up these scenes. It's a lot of fun. But you also get to hear our thoughts on things and how we feel about what's going on. And check in with us. We would love to hear what's going on with you as well. Leave stuff in the chat. If anything strikes your interest. It's not like an improv show where you got to be quiet the whole time.
No.
Like this one, go ahead and say what's on your mind. Put it in the comments. It may inspire something amazing.
And like it and share it as you're coming in so more people can see it. We want to keep this thing going, man. We just did a show with people from Belgium.
Man,
it's international now.
That was a lot of fun.
And it was super fun. It was super fun.
Oh,
shout out to the Sudden Knot.
The Sudden Knot, man. We got to get them to come to Houston. We definitely want to go out there with you guys.
That reminds me. I was watching, and I'm going to post a screenshot of this maybe later on tonight. But I was watching In the Heights, looking out for our boy Hugh who was on the show, and I saw him washing that car. I was like, "It's my boy Hugh!"
Shout out to Hugh, man. Shout out to
Jones. Nicely done. Well done, In the Heights.
I got it queued. I'm gonna watch it probably this weekend and just take a snapshot of Hugh.
Yes, nice. Wait, so Antoine's not there.
Antoine. Yeah,
he probably cleared it out so his connection could come in strong. I don't know.
Yeah, he had a James Brown moment.
Oh, what? In what way? Why is it a James Brown
moment? Walking off the stage and he gonna come back. There you go. See?
Hey,
He wanted to switch the spot he was on the screen.
He got too hype.
James Brown it.
Anyway, sorry. Don't let me interrupt. What were you saying?
I was gonna ask, did you see his scene? Did Hugh speak? You heard the words, all right.
Did he? Yeah, I think he did.
He did.
You saw it too? Okay, yeah. I gotta watch.
Yeah, a couple lines.
I gotta see it. I gotta see Hugh. Shout out to Hugh, man. I love it, man.
Nice. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. John actually has a discussion topic today. Do you want to introduce it, man? I don't want to.
Absolutely, man. So every now and then, we don't have a guest today, so the topic's got to be some heat. And I went to Top Golf over the weekend, and one of my friends asked me, John, you're an artist. What do you think about R. Kelly? And of course, you never really get that question too much, but she didn't ask me to see if I was going to have a bunch of judgment. She wanted to see from an artist's perspective how that impacts me. And I decided to think, I want to ask our podcast, what do you guys think about separating an artist from their behavior or their lifestyle? Is that something you think should exist? You should be able to separate? Do you think that is something that is absolutely has boundaries, as we would say? Possibly some people feel strongly about R. Kelly, even some with early Michael Jackson or whatever. I just kind of want to open that discussion.
For those who may not be in the know, can you tell the people a little bit about why R. Kelly would be a point of contention?
So R. Kelly is like, he's in every Black family gathering over 5 to 10 people. That's going to be longer than 2 hours, right? You're going to have music there. And R. Kelly has made a lot of swinging music. He's made a lot of, what would you call it? Like line dance and music for Black people. And Black people cannot resist doing the line dances with their family. It's probably like the only time we all connected and ain't arguing with each other is when we doing a line dance. And of course, Step in the Name of Love. I've literally watched people who have, man, you know what? I dare that DJ to play some R. Kelly, man. He wrong. He dying in that prison. And then sneakily Step in the Name of Love will come through. And originally you just let the music start taking you. And next thing you know, you're on the dance floor or you're fighting with yourself, you know, to really reconcile how good the music is versus what the music meant or how he created it, inspired it, or what he did in the process. And if you guys are not familiar with it, you could check out a documentary called Surviving R. Kelly or Google his name and just go through a couple of pages and see what you find.
Man, yeah.
So here's my thing. I'm torn, man. I'm torn. Because I see Crystal made something in the see that's some in the comments, but Michael Jackson was like the first, I guess, introduction to like having somebody that makes up a big part of like what you enjoy to consume as far as entertainment, and then having something so ridiculously against his character. I remember as a kid thinking to myself, like, man, this can't be true because you love Michael Jackson so much and his music and his films and stuff mean so much, you know. But obviously, as a parent, now I think if it would have happened to me at my stage as an adult, my fear and my, you know, overprotection of how I view my children would probably make my emotions lean me to, I don't even want to entertain anybody who could be, you know, associated with that kind of behavior. And in that case, it's when I go, man, that's an emotional reaction. You know, we don't really know a lot of the facts. We know he was acquitted. So, and he's a very interesting case, but where R. Kelly is actually, you know, convicted, charged, thrown in jail, XYZ, tons of evidence, history of, you know, the type of behavior. You know, for me, it wasn't as hard for me to just kind of, I don't want to do anything R. Kelly, because he was kind of like, it wasn't like he was caught red-handed or it was something happened in the past. I mean, not he was caught red-handed. I mean, he was like caught red-handed, and it was still going on. He was fighting to keep doing it, you know, or whatever, right? And in that case, it was kind of like, man, I don't even want to continue bankrolling you, because the more we bankroll you, the better you can do this stuff, right? And the rule. So my approach to R. Kelly, all in all, do I think his music is still beautiful pieces of artwork? I say yes, but I say that and still get a bad battery taste in my mouth when I say it, because you can't hear the music and think about it without having a thought about what the guy did. But if I've been like chiefing and I'm zoned out, I can listen to R. Kelly and hear the notes and the beauty and the genius in it. So maybe people just need to smoke more weed and listen to music more. Maybe that can help.
Sure. Yeah. It's an interesting question. Just as a comparison, I deem this scenario Hitler's painting. And the reason I call it that is because Hitler was like a known painter or artist or something. And I imagine, like, what if someone got their hands on a painting? It was of something not like, it was like a landscape, right? There's a tree, there's the sun, whatever. It's just a nice little pleasant landscape, right? They like it, they take it home, they put it on their wall, have guests over later that week. When the guest says, isn't that one of Hitler's paintings? Didn't Hitler paint that landscape? Now, there's nothing about the painting that indicates any sort of Nazi propaganda is going on. It's just a painting. But because it's painted by Hitler, does that mean you're someone who supports Hitler, right? Do you take it down now? Like, it's still the same landscape you liked before. Can you still like it even with that backstory? I think it's a little, that scenario, I can make it an easier argument to separate the artist from the work. But something like R. Kelly, However,
Yeah.
because his work champions a certain message and his actions do something else, and they're in my head intertwined, it's harder for me to disassociate the work from the artist.
And that's a good argument because, I mean, Hitler was who he said he was, right? But he just drew something beautiful that had nothing to necessarily do with what he was physically doing. Whereas you're saying that if Hitler was making paintings of what they were doing back in those days, the gruesomeness, and it was still considered beautiful, you wouldn't be able to separate, right?
It's more or less.
More or less.
Yeah, along those lines.
I don't understand why, because this is I guess my take on it, and it's coming out in this conversation that y'all are having right now. Why does it stick? Why do some people like they get it? Like if people find out that they did this, then it's this is horrible. We're never going to do this. It sticks for some people, and other people it doesn't really. They don't get so-called. I don't even use that word because that's being used by a group of people I don't like to talk about. But they get like they're it's like, oh, we're not going to listen to them. We're not gonna deal with that. Oh, it's terrible if you do that. Why does it stick for some people? And
what do you mean by stick?
Why do people respond, oh, we're not going to listen to that music? Oh, you're a terrible person if you do. This person, and not just like a couple of people, but I mean in terms of society and their knowledge of that person. They'll say, oh, we don't celebrate their art, whatever it is, because they did XYZ. But other people, it's just kind of like, it's wishy-washy. There's no firm, no, we're not going to do this across the board for everybody who's done something wrong. It's just some people really get penalized for it and their art is shut out, and we're not supposed to listen to them, or if you do, there's a problem. And then other people, it's whatever. Right? Because the Cosby Show is on TV. They haven't taken that off. I mean, I think they demonized Cosby for sure.
So wasn't Seven Heaven? Wasn't the guy from Seven Heaven like doing some crazy stuff? That show wasn't taken off.
I mean, I don't. That's the part that I'm curious about. Why do some people get shut out and other people don't? They may have done similar things. Their artistry, Seventh Heaven was about kids, right? And I think wasn't he with some underage girls? It was about him as a father with family. That's a complete opposite of what a good father is. But
I think it has a lot to do with time, culture, and the value system that's going at that time. Because when this is my opinion, right? So R. Kelly, we're talking about. He made hundreds of millions of dollars off of selling wonderful sounds and sexual ballads, right? Like sex is still in this country, probably one of the biggest industries, but nobody likes to really openly discuss sexuality as a culture. It's still kind of demonized when you see high levels of sexuality. So I think him having that personally was really, kind of like the anchor, right? Is you have a music that is 89% about sex. You once you go back and re-listen to it, you can kind of imagine him speaking to, whatever the demographic, right? And it's hard to kind of, like I said, it's kind of the anchor that's sunken. Whereas, Bill Cosby, if Bill Cosby would have like produced P Valley, right? If he made his name off P Valley, man, he would have sunk. It would have been a lot of people that jump off the ship, because I think sexuality is a hot, very difficult, complex thing in our culture. Whereas having college show about college kids, and Black college kids, a show about upwardly mobile Black respectable families, that kind of helped keep him a little bit at water, even though he drifted way the fuck out in the ocean. Nonetheless, right? You're like, wait a second. This show taught me something that could go a legacy or two, right? What he's teaching makes sense, right? But I don't like what he did, you know, and then I argue, is it even my business, right? Like, is it something I should be caring about? I used to make the argument about football. A lot of people are like, don't like Kobe Bryant when rest in peace, obviously. But when we were younger, everyone was like, I don't like Kobe. I don't like how he is off the court. I don't like what he says. But if you were on a team and you needed a guy, I don't think those same people who didn't like Kobe would be like, man, I don't like Kobe, man. I don't like how he be wearing his Adidas. I'm gonna pick this guy over the corner. It was just something that they could use to, you know, do whatever, be insecure. And you could totally ignore what you don't like about that person when it comes in your benefit, right? Or it makes you feel a lot better about yourself. So I think part of it is that too. Dang, it's thunderstorming over here. Can y'all hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
It sounded like God was like, speak about Kobe.
Maybe it's if you can, because I mean you brought up the point, like with the R. Kelly song, like you hear the words, you can see him saying those things or doing those things to the persons he's harmed, right? We've got living witnesses. They've said these things have happened, and he's singing this music, so then we can visualize him doing it, and then it's like, nope, no go. But if it's something and maybe you can't visualize it, or maybe there's no identifiable witness to what happened, and maybe it's not as, maybe you don't, I don't know. Maybe maybe you're less likely to suffer the full shutting out of all of your art because of that. I could be wrong, but I was just thinking about that point.
Did Chris Brown stick? How do people feel about him?
Nope.
I think for some people it did.
No.
For some part of the culture it did, because remember, he came out as, he could have been as big like the new clean Usher. Now he's like in that bad boy, can't really get the gum off my shoe, so I'm going to embrace it kind of role, where he's tatted up everywhere, you know, gang signs, stuff, all of that stuff. This kid was in a spearmint commercial, dancing, eating, chewing gum. Now he's talking about killing people in a song, singing about it. Matter of fact, singing about it, right? Something that's rap about it sound hard, but somebody is singing about killing people. I think it might have not stuck for a lot of people. That I think he'll probably regain about 70-80% of his core fan base, because he is extremely talented. And it sounds terrible, right? He's extremely talented, dude. I think a little bit of that, but if you think about this, right, he's handsome too, right? So think about when I watched the movie about what was the guy that what was the white dude that's going around killing all the women? And he was super handsome, and girls showing up to the thing.
Serial killer.
Yeah,
Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy, right?
Ted Bundy. Yeah.
I think you got a little bit of that too, right? You got this sexy guy who can sing, dance like Michael Jackson with tattoos. He has what a lot of the women now, a whole lot of women love Rihanna. Why not, right? She's the bad girl Riri, right? Black Madonna, with a little bit Caribbean in her, and he got the bad boy image. So you still see a lot of women were kind of like, oh well, I mean, I kind of like a little crazy man that keep me in check, or I kind of thought Chris Brown was a little crazy or whatever. I like that, and then women are going to still get what they get out of his music, right? That Gray's 50 Shades of Grey shit, right?
we cut to an office. Hey, John, can I see you in my office for a minute?
Would you say that again?
I want to see you in my office, just for a quick talk.
Okay.
Great, come on in.
All right.
Okay. So the boss is upstairs. Told me to that you've been having some issues here at work. You don't complete any of your assignments. You're always late. you were bragging about getting a tattoo on your 5-hour lunch break you took yesterday. That you just went off and got a tattoo, and they want to fire you.
Well, I've sensed a little bit of reluctancy. You haven't fired me yet. You must like my tattoo.
I mean, actually, I like everything about you. You're the bad boy at the office. You give this place a little bit of spice, and you make things interesting here.
You mind if I smoke this joint here? You're not gonna say no, right?
Sure, go for it. There's no windows, but it's.
You need a little bit of that, man. Calm you down so we can have this real conversation, man.
Okay.
So what's up?
Yeah,
you're saying you like me and shit.
Yeah, they don't think you should work here anymore. But
the fuck,
I think we'll be making a big mistake by letting you go. You don't bring a lot like work wise, but I think you bring a lot like character wise to the space.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's right, man. So, man, when I got this job, man, I didn't give a fuck about what anybody thought. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm getting that check. All them honeys up in here. I can't ask for much.
Oh, yeah, I also that. You're not supposed to call him that. Please don't do that. That one, if you could not do that one, I think we could work around the other things.
You saying that you don't want me to call the honeys up in here honeys, man? What else am I supposed to call them?
They'll call them by their names. I think that's kind of the way to go.
Man, I don't be seeing the name tag, man. I'll just be seeing that ass when they walk past. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I don't know that this is gonna work. Actually,
what you mean it ain't gonna work, man? We like you talk that you thought I was cool, man.
I think that's the one thing that I cannot have you. We can't have that happen. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to promote you to upstairs. You'll have your own office. You'll be away from the women here who, have been complaining about you calling them the honeys as a group. They don't really like that. So I'm going to move you upstairs, like out of the way of that, just so that you're out of the way, and you can still work or not work. Go get tattoos, do whatever you want. But, I just really want your spirit to be in the building, if that makes sense.
So you're saying that upstairs I can smoke as much weed as I want in my office. Ain't nobody going to be knocking on the door telling me I'm bothering them and shit?
It's a big office, bigger than mine. You'll have your own, a lot of space in there.
Oh, with this promotion, do I get a little honey to come check on me and set my meetings up and shit?
But we'll probably have to check on that, but I'm not sure. I don't think you'll have any meetings, honestly.
We cut upstairs a few weeks later. He's smoking a joint, he's jamming his music all by himself in his big office. He hears a knock on the door. Mr. Myles.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey man, I work in the office next door. I said hi to you a few times in the hallway.
You next door to me?
Yeah, I'm next door. And your music's a little loud. I'm on client calls right now, and I can barely hear them, and they're complaining about a lot of background noise. I was wondering if you could turn it down a little bit, please.
You want me to turn it down?
Yeah. Just to a respectable level. We're all trying to get work done up here. I know you're new to this floor.
I mean, I still don't understand what you're saying, man.
I'm just saying, this.
You want me to turn down?
Yeah, just turn it down a little bit. Also, I've heard that you've been asking my secretary to do some of your stuff for you. I do not appreciate you using my secretary.
Hey, man, this ain't the game, bro. She chose me.
Well, she's assigned to me in the org chart.
I don't care what she assigned to, bro. She came over here when I called. That's not my problem, bro. You can check out with your HR, whoever you got going on, coming over telling me to turn down.
Yeah,
and your woman over here with me.
She's not my woman. She's my secretary.
That's your problem. You ain't got no ownership, right? You don't know how to keep your peoples in check. You ain't gonna never rise up the ranks here, bro.
Closes the door behind him. You know what? I think you're right. I've been working at this job for 5 years. I've been in the same position. I'm stagnant. I can't seem to move up at all. You came out of nowhere. You've been here for weeks. I haven't seen you do a lick of work. What's your secret?
The secret is, man, you got to get everybody else to be doing all the work and you reap all the benefits, man. That's what you do.
But how do I do that? All I know is hard work, dedication, work, get here before the boss, leave after the boss sort of thing.
Sound like the boss must be pimping you out.
Say what?
Sound like the boss coming here checking you, asking you where his money is or her money is. And that's the mentality you got to change. You the boss. You tell them what to do.
I'm the boss.
You the boss, man. Now get the fuck out of my office.
We cut to HR manager's office. Antoine, can I see you in my office, please? Can you please come in?
I'll get there.
No, get in here right now.
All right.
Hurry up.
What's going on? What's going on?
Are you smoking a joint? Is that thing lit?
So what if I am? Did you want some?
Put it out. Don't you bring that in here.
All right, I'll save it for later.
Yeah, put it out. Listen, I understand you've been cavorting with that guy that just moved up there to your executive level, right? I understand you've been taking tips from him about how to do work. I just want you to know your productivity level has gone down by 47% in 2 weeks, Antoine. You used to be our top. Listen, let me tell you something. I've seen the guy that you're trying to be like, okay? He's good looking. He's fantastic. He called me honey one day and I giggled, and I know it's inappropriate. All right? But he can get away with that. Look in the mirror, Antoine. Look in the mirror. Turn around. Look in the mirror. You look like him, Antoine? Do you think you can get away with that? That's right. Take a good hard look. You can't. So I want you to give me your keys, turn in your executive level keys.
See. That's an HR violation. I want you to look in the mirror right now. Do you think you can get away with that? Do you think you're good looking enough to do what you just did?
Some people can get away with it.
Hey, just be honest, man. That is a thing. Even though they don't say it, we all know, like, that's something that still gets acted on.
I know. Oh man, always, and I know. I think I've said this on the podcast before. In middle school, one of my friends, I was in 6th grade math, and one of my friends and we got D's on our report card in math. And Kevin was sweet. He was the cutest boy in class, and he took his report card up to our teacher, and he said, "I got a D. There's no way I should have gotten a D." And she looked at his report card, and she looked at him. She's like, "Oh, you're right, Kevin. You're right. I do have the wrong grade here." And I was like, "All right, then." So I go up to the desk. I'm like, "I got a D. There's no way." She's like, "Now, Tandi, you wouldn't want me to lie, would you?"
Damn.
You did that for Kevin Alex.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Now send Kevin back up here.
That's what you should have did. You should have sent Kevin to go on your behalf.
I didn't know how to use pretty. I didn't know how to use good looking back then. See, you can either be good looking or know how to manipulate and use it.
You got options, right? You got options. There's lanes you can go to get what you want. One is attractiveness, one is money, one is force, one is quote unquote manipulation or charming, right? If you're attractive, all of them are probably weighted differently too, right? Depending on who you are. So, and my thing, I think I found out like early on too, this girl can do whatever she wants because everybody in this area wants to be with her. She's going to quote unquote get all the candy from all the boys, or this boy is gonna get all the candy from all the girls, all that kind of stuff. It happens, but things change too.
So I get. So what's our argument? That R. Kelly was just, if he were just a little bit more attractive, then I'm sorry.
He might be able to get away with
I don't know.
I want to hear from Amechi. I haven't heard from Amechi yet.
I mean, we've covered a lot of ground here. To add to something Antoine said a bit earlier, I was listening to something on like BBC Radio a few months ago, or maybe last year, where they're talking about, does the composer affect the music, that topic, and a guy had listened to this piece of instrumental music, and kind of like his friend just played for him. He's like, "Oh, it's not bad. I kind of like it." And then after he listened to it, his friend told him, "Oh, that was written by Charles Manson." And then he said he listened to it again, and he just like couldn't do it. And he said, "Oh no, it's an instrumental piece of music. There's no words, there's no." I don't know. But yeah, just by hearing that, it changed his mind about this, these notes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's weird how that works. And yeah, it is.
Yep.
Yeah, and it is. It's also weird that we sort of keep this only for art and not other things
like politics.
Just say, a guy one day showed up and was like, I cured cancer, everybody. I cured cancer. Yay. He cured cancer. How do you do it? Well, I made a serum and I tested it on people who didn't know I was testing on them. And, I that's what it told people. And I snuck into a hospital and jabbed a few people with my serum. And it worked. He did all these horrible things. Some of them died, but it's fine. I cured cancer, yay! Would we not use that serum, or would we use it?
They would probably kill that dude and then tell him that they made it and erase all of the things that they said he said he did. That's what it would be.
That's what they would want to do.
Yeah,
but
that's what they would want.
That becomes a bloody game at some point.
I mean, I'm sure it's happened before. I'm sure they had whack news and be like, we can't let them know who made this.
Yeah, but yeah, it's weird to me that we reserve it just for art and nothing
That's
else.
True.
Basically,
very interesting argument too, right? Mm-hmm. It's something that has a voluntary engagement. We criticize people so heavily on there. It's kind of like the drugs argument, right? You're kind of policing people for choosing what to put in their body, and the response it gets once it's in their body is you are judging, an artist who you have a voluntary engagement with, right? Mm-hmm. It's very interesting, man. And I'm glad you shared that point of view. Anybody listening to the podcast, share us your comments. Whose argument do you like the best? It doesn't matter. Sitan wins all in all, and the family wins as well. But we would love to hear your thoughts on that matter. What do y'all think about Pepe Le Pew? You think Pepe gonna get his day?
Oh,
I think I saw him on a recent episode, like a recent Looney Tunes episode.
They modified his
modified a little bit. Yeah, I saw just a little clip of it, but in it, like for some reason, Bugs was about to get married to Lola, and then Lola went back to Pepe as like her old boyfriend or something.
Oh, Lord.
Bugs at the altar.
Oh Lord!
So he's still
Lola with Pepe. Bugs, I would be having cold feet, man. I would literally have cold feet.
I heard on the radio this morning they were talking about analyzing or being critical of the Destiny's Child's lyrics to Cater to You. They were going on and on about that this morning on the radio, and like, those are if we're talking about stuff, then we really need to examine those lyrics.
What was the issue over the lyrics?
I guess just the fact that it was all about catering to a guy and all of this stuff and etc. But yeah, that was a discussion on the radio this morning.
Well, I'm not a part of the
on the
Beehive.
show
I'm
with
a
three
fan.
guys.
Hey, I like Beyonce. I've been a fan for a long time. I'm not a part of the Beehive because that sounds crazy and cultish. But it literally, they say, this is your day. Like, I'm doing this because this is your day, right? Women have a problem with having a day that a woman will do this, say these things to their man. Like, what's crazy about that? Would you want the flip side to be
I'm just telling you what the argument was. I mean,
like
I don't
Doesn't
know.
the flip side happen? I feel like there's hundreds of songs where guys are talking about all the things they'll do for their woman.
Mm-hmm.
And no one argues, man, well, look at this dude right here talking about all the things.
We got to talk about these lyrics.
Man. But what is your point? What is your argument? I mean, what was your opinion?
I didn't have any. I just I thought, that song was probably written by a man. I don't see the problem with it. A man probably said it.
So you don't think,
sounds like a fantasy.
You don't think a man, you don't think that they wrote that song? You don't think a woman could mean those words to a man?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because it's the human.
It's a fantasy. Well, you said it's a fantasy.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. It's possible. It's not an impossible fantasy. It's just somebody's
I got you.
Likely a man's fantasy of a woman's behavior, either one time or all the time. And it's not very far from some societal expectations of woman behavior. Oh, here we getting into this again. I was just trying to talk about lyrics, but no, it's I don't know. I just thought it's probably written by man. Have y'all seen what's the show? I just watched a bunch of it. They ran it on E. Something 5 Ever, Girls 5 Ever. Is like a spoof. Really, it's pretty funny. Kind of a spoof about this all girls band getting back together many years later when they're all so much older and kind of washed out, etc. But anyway, so they were singing their famous songs, and their manager, and they broke away from their manager, so their manager blocked their Instagram feed of them doing these lives singing their songs, because these were all of the songs that they sang under contract with him. So they were trying to write new songs, and they wrote something, and a lot of it sounded like the old stuff, and they were like, wait a minute, why are we singing about this kind of thing? And it was really humorously off base, but very similar to that kind of cater to you type of deal, or all of this stuff about them as women and what they would do for men, or how men were so much better than them. And then they realized that their music had been written by men all of those years, and so it just made me think about that when I heard the Destiny's Child thing this morning. I was like, I'm probably written by a man too.
There was a song I know Patrice O'Neal used to sing on his podcast that was like kind of what you're saying. It was like it was an older song. Let me see if I can look it up. But it was basically like
I'll try to look it up. You keep.
It was like, I don't care what you do as long as you come home to me, or kind of thing, right? And that makes a lot of sense if you're like, what woman would write a song where she would subjugate herself to it? What is the song? Was that
the SOS band?
Yeah, it's Just Be Good to Me.
Just Be Good to Me. I don't care about no other girls. Just be good to me.
Good to me.
And that's a good song that you don't want to be singing and be like, wait a second. Nah, I can't be. Yeah, that's what we've been singing and touring for the last 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And there are men. I think the thing is, there are obviously, now the internet has started to democratize communities. There is a community of men who probably, like you said, is the audience for that music, right? The Kevin Samuels people, they'll probably listen to that. One woman that's like, listen, I know you're a high value man. Just be good to me. you know, and that's how they get off, right? If there was a woman who, you know, challenged that in any way, they would have to argue, you know, masculinity dominance, right? And I mean, the simple thing about that, right? They did a study on apes. I want to say the chimpanzees, and they showed that the ones that became the longest in leadership roles were not the most aggressive or violent ones. They were the ones that had the most diplomatic skills, as well as they were decent fighters, so they could make all the women and children like them, so that when it's time to attack the big violent dude, everybody like, well, fuck that dude, let's beat up him, and they jump in and kill him. And then this guy raises the power, and now he gets to be the king of the apes for 10 years until he dies, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But what does that say, right? Like, fittest survive, right? You don't have to be the most dominant horn bull in a society where things are agile and quick. Flexibility, in my opinion, should be one of the biggest things valued in a person, because things are changing, right? Not, can we take this back to the 40s and 50s when a man was slapping a woman, telling him to shut the hell up, get in there and cook. Niggas don't even really be eating home cooked meals that often anymore. The fuck are y'all talking about, right? What, you want them to get in there and go order some DoorDash for me? Shut the fuck up, man. Stupid. It's stupid. You know, for the guys that actually hold that in their mind. So, and I mean, yeah, that's my thoughts. I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get down that rabbit hole. I got a scene though. We cut to a husband talking to his wife after a long day of work. Shelly, I just got out of work. 12 hours. And when I committed to my life to you, all I thought I was going to at least get was a home cooked meal. You're doing way too much door dashing and Uber Eats. I'm not married to Uber Eats. I'm not married to DoorDash. I'm married to Shelly Myles. Shelly Myles need to stop door dashing and start dashing in here in this kitchen and using some of that dash seasoning on some of the food or something. I'm sorry I had to say that. I know we didn't had a long day. I just had to speak my mind.
Okay, thank you. What'd you say? I'm sorry, I was just ordering some DoorDash. They got a special Korean barbecue. You love Korean barbecue. How was your day? How was everything?
You was literally, what did I tell you about holding them, putting them AirPods in your ear all day? I don't know when the hell you're on the phone. I don't know when you're doing nothing. I just poured my heart out to you. You weren't even listening.
Now look at you getting all worked up and angry. You know what's going to make you calm down? Some of that Korean barbecue when it gets here. You know how you love Korean barbecue. That's just going to make everything. How was your day? How was work?
It was terrible. It was terrible. It was terrible. All right.
What happened?
A lot of shit. People, they got a dude who just get away with everything, smoke weed in the office. But what do I got to do? I make one mistake and they threaten to fire my ass. You know, so I want to come home, have my wife, you know, maybe ready for some food and maybe some intimacy, you know, and then
that's why I DoorDash, so that I can spend more time preparing for the intimacy. If I have to cook and do both, then I'm just gonna be average at both, maybe. But
goddamn, how long it take you to prepare for the intimacy? What you need, a whole 2-hour break or something? We just talk about putting some food on the stove. That's all.
That's not how cooking works. You don't just buy stuff from the groceries and throw it on the stove. You have to prepare. You got to research recipes. You have to make sure you have all the ingredients for the recipe. And if you don't, then you're going back to the store to get more stuff. John, I don't want to talk about it. And one of the things we never really discussed is how my mother abandoned our family because she kept forgetting things, from recipes, and she kept going back to the store. And one day she just had it and she never showed up. So I vowed from that moment on that I would not prepare a meal.
All right.
Ever,
I'm sorry.
because you never know.
I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry.
We cut to John's office the next day. Is a bunch of them kind of standing around in an office. It's kind of that Mad Men style. They're all in suits, holding glasses of whiskey. And then my wife started rubbing my feet as I was watching TV. Let me tell you, it's just what a man needs after a hard day of work.
Yeah, it sounds pretty normal.
Just another Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just another Tuesday.
How were your evening, gentlemen?
Oh, I mean, mine was good. My wife didn't rub my feet, but she rubbed my shoulders out watching the baseball game. So,
watching the game too.
Hey, gentlemen, I'm gonna use the restroom for a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
You just got a fresh glass. You already going to the restroom?
We do this all the time, man. It's just a glass. Let me go in the restroom.
We want to hear about that dinner that your wife was going to cook. You were telling us about it.
Yeah, you know what? I need to go to the restroom too. Why don't we just all go to the restroom?
You know what? Let's all go. I'll put my break down.
Take a break together.
Let's walk and talk. Let's walk and talk.
Yeah, walk and talk. So, John, you were saying about.
Man. I mean, excuse y'all. I might have to pick up speed a little bit. No. I really got to pee.
You're holding it.
I've been holding it for like.
I just got some cardio in as well. Let's pick this up.
Yeah, I just got these new shoes, and my feet are very relaxed. So I have no problem going a little faster.
Okay,
but
great.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Jeez. All right, guys. Listen. All right. I don't have to pee.
Oh.
My wife has been automating everything at our house, so I haven't been able to. I mean, she don't cook anymore. She door dashes. She don't sweep anymore. She got an iRobot vacuum. She don't rub my feet. We got these little shoes you stick your feet in and you turn them on and they massage your feet. My wife ain't touched me in a year. All this goddamn technology.
Goddamn technology. That's why we're an old-fashioned agency, John. That's why we still use typewriters. That's why we smoke in the office.
But the days are kicking my ass doing all this typewriting shit, man. My hands be cramping. Don't y'all ever want to just update a little bit, man? I don't want it to be as bad as my house, man. You don't want to go all deep, right? We ain't even having sex anymore. She got some covers you wrap around in the covers and massage your whole body, you orgasm, and you go right to sleep. Don't even remember the shit that happened to you. You know? This shit is ridiculous, man. And I'm kind of jealous that y'all get to still have them old-fashioned relationships and wear these old-fashioned suits. You know, kind of brings back memories. You know, I grew up in a household like that.
That's unfortunate, John. On the flip side, if I'm being honest, guys, I don't know how to use a computer. Like, not at all. I don't have a cell phone. If I needed to look up something, I got to go to the library and find a book. It is tough. That's why I got to get my feet massaged all the time. Because I do walking to the library.
Putting a lot of miles in them harsh bottom shoes can't hurt your feet.
Mm-hmm. They don't have Dr. Scholl's or anything. This is just straight shoe in here.
Yeah, man. Sorry about that, man. Sorry to hear that.
No, it's okay. You know, we all have our struggles and, you know, things that we're suffering with. So, you know, John, I would say just tell your wife how you feel. Tell her what you want. Why don't you show her what you want to receive from her? Why do you set an example? Like show her how would you like to be?
Yeah. Have the man show her. I like it. Mm-hmm. I like it. It's just old fashioned enough.
So you think I should take her out to like some old shack and just like prepare a bunch of meals? It's just me and her.
Or you should do it at home.
I don't know why you need to go to an old shack. Like
we got a lot of technology at home. It's gonna be a lot of distractions. I'm gonna have to like get rid of everything. This woman is like a magnet to electronics and stuff, you know.
We cut to the old shack for both of them.
All right, baby. Making some stew over here.
I was wondering how DoorDash was able to find you out here in these woods. You're cooking this?
I'm cooking this, babe.
Oh.
Got me some stew from what I killed out here in these woods. Chopped it up
with your bare hands.
Found some carrots. You know, they ain't got no water, so I still got the blood on my hands. But I heard this, you know. I just wanted us to have time together, okay? You know, I love you. And I always want you to know that, all right?
You're touching my shoulder, John.
I know. I just, you know, remember this? Remember all of this?
Huh? Yes, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, John.
Yeah, see?
Oh,
I had to bring you out here. I had to bring you out here for us to do that, you know?
Oh my gosh, hold on. Let me open up my purse and bring my blanket out. I brought my blanket with me. I'm gonna wrap up in this. You got me started.
No,
I'm gonna put the blanket on. No,
when I'm done, I'll
pass it on to you.
We don't need the blanket. We don't need blanket. We can't. I don't want anything electronic out here. This is the woods. There's a moon out there. We don't need no blanket.
Okay, that's fine. All right, I'll put it down. So let's look at that stew. What you got there? What's in that?
I found some raccoon and some squirrel out there. I think that one right there is a groundhog. That little piece of meat right there.
Okay. Let me taste a little bit of this.
Go ahead. Taste some of that. Yeah.
I mean, it's okay, but it's missing something.
Missing something?
Maybe a little garlic, pepper. Maybe some thyme. You don't have.
We don't have. I use what I could find. This was more about me and you spending quality time than it was about using all of these different infrastructures to make our lives easier, which makes us even more distant. I like our struggles.
What about the recipe, John? What about the recipe? You made a stew without a recipe? You just put stuff together. There's no seasoning.
Listen, some point in human history, people ate damn good food without all the damn seasoning and shit. And we're still around. That means that they spend a lot of their time focusing about how they can season their relationship and their love life versus seasoning all this. We ain't got to have something that tastes spectacular every time our tongue has to touch some food. We could spend that putting our tongues on each other. That's all I'm trying to say, God damn it.
All right. Well,
by the way, I quit my job.
What?
We own this house. I sold the other house. We own this house and all the land around it. This is where we live in. I just wanted to make sure you was cool first. And
I'm not cool. Okay, that's fine. But we'll talk about it. Tell you what, give me my keys. I'm gonna go to the store. I'll just get a few.
There's only one key.
To put in
there's only one key, and I have the key. We can't lose this key. So I'm gonna need you to stay here. You're the most organized person, and I'm gonna go out and do all the running and making sure that we have everything for the house. Cool? You don't want to be walking out there with bears and stuff, just bears and wolves and shit. Let me deal with it. I could take on, but I need you to stay here. Okay?
Okay. Tell you what. How about I just
Is there something wrong, babe? I mean,
John, then let's be honest. You think the machines come between us? The machines have created the relationship that we have. Without those machines, we don't have a relationship.
What do you mean?
I think in this shack, you're going to expect me to sweep. You're going to expect me to cook. You're going to expect me to make love to you. And I'm sorry, I've become too dependent on the machines. I don't know that I can do those things. And I feel like I'm going to fail you. I'm going to fail this relationship.
Suddenly, a Roomba comes in the door. Tandi, I've been looking everywhere for you.
Oh, Roomba.
I'm here to get you out of here.
Yo,
Hop on my back. Let's go.
Okay.
What are you doing, Tandi? What are you doing?
I'm riding the Roomba out. It's gonna take me a while, John. Just shout slowly.
And scene.
Saved by the
Come and
Roomba.
save me.
All right. So what is the final stance here on the initial question around R. Kelly?
Final stance.
Yeah.
My final opinion is it's not as clean as I would like, but I think you have to take it case by case. You have to assess the person, what their legacy is, or body of work, and you have to see what it means to you. If it makes you feel like you are going against your value system by engaging with an artist or whoever, I think you have the right. I think it has to be case by case. That's my situation.
I'll go next. I'll say, in some cases, ignorance is bliss. You look into your heroes too much, you may find their villainy. So if you like art, just try to appreciate the art on its own. Once you start digging into the artist, you may find some things you don't like. So enjoy the ignorance, enjoy the art on standalone. Because I know about R. Kelly, because I did watch a good amount of Surviving R. Kelly, I have not listened to R. Kelly in quite some time. And I probably won't in quite some time. It's just too connected.
Yeah.
The art and the artists are just too connected in what they create.
It's hard, and especially since he's, I guess, does he have a legal fight going on? It's like you're contributing to him, supporting himself, get out of this trouble that he's in.
Right.
So I guess that's my take on it. If particularly contemporary artists, I guess if there's some heinous thing they've done, and participating and listening to their work or whatever it is, may contribute to a lifestyle they may or may not be repentant of.
So real quick on that, because I thought the same thing, but again, it kind of comes back into doing the research, because you could say that about any artist, right?
That's what I think.
If any artist is having a legal battle, if any artist has like a drug problem, are you contributing to it by supporting their work?
I don't know, man. I mean, there's so much evil afoot. There's so much. This place is so hypocritical. It's so hard to really separate and be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to be straight and narrow. Because right, like you said, when you think you are, then you'll find out something else. But just do the best you can.
And also, does that change if the artist openly accepts the thing that everybody's criticizing, right? Like, it's different if everybody's like, nah, I'm innocent, but they have this crazy crime. Do we give them more credibility for being like, it was what it was, right? And accepting whatever it was. Just throwing that out to the listeners. Think about that.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, because somebody who's like, or even like, I did it, and what are you going to do about it? Compared to, I did it and I'm really sorry and I'm working on myself to get better. Those are two different things. Like, how do you judge? Do you judge them the same still? Do you ask one of them to, go do the work and we'll see you down the road? There's still like a lot of, there's still like a lot of gray area there. So. Like overall, I don't think I know the full answers to everything on this. It's a very complex topic.
Very complex.
I want to shout out John Nada real quick in the chat. You mentioned that you think Charles Manson wrote a Beatles song. Did a quick search on that. I don't think he wrote a Beatles song. The song is Helter Skelter. I think it inspired Charles Manson. I don't think he actually wrote one. But he said he's never listened to R. Kelly, and now he's curious.
Start with Surviving R. Kelly and go from there.
Good luck to you, John.
First, listen to his albums, then watch Surviving R. Kelly right after, and then come back and let us know what you think.
Yeah, listen to the albums first, and then watch Surviving R. Kelly.
Yeah, don't watch Surviving R. Kelly and listen to the albums. Listen to the albums first.
It's gonna ruin it.
Yeah.
But DJ Comfy, go ahead and get those tunes ready. Again, shout out to John, Crystal, Neil in the chat. Thank you so much for stopping by, leaving your comments, saying hello. Love to see it. For John, for Tandi, for Amechi, for myself. That's Can't Tell Us Nothing show. We out.